Okay. Get you guys all in here. We made it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, y'all already know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. What's up, y'all, man? It's in this morning. It's a good morning, Monday morning. We all up. Thank God. God, it's a blessing that we all here. And if you're watching this, you made it. I got a lot of things to talk to you. I figured I wanted to do it a little different today. I just wanted to add put a little more fun, put a little more fun vibe to it. So I'm gonna give you guys the 10 topics, top topics of today, this Monday morning, as well as I'm gonna shed some light on some things, and I just give you guys some uplifting energy so you can go on through this week, and we can all get through this. So I'm just gonna wait for everybody to get up in here, and I love you guys, man. Just a little recap on some early videos that I dropped over the weekend that you guys got to check out, and from Friday on. Before we jump in, let me give you guys a little sum up. So what I did was I opened a new playlist for anybody that just wants to tune in and get their mindset right. I opened a new playlist for that, and the first video that's up there, it's called A Minimalist Mindset. And I want you guys to look into that, because it's not the way I put it together. It's not what you just think of how, a minimalist lives, or, the whole minimalism. I put a fresh new way of looking at it, and the way of you can take it and add it into your life. So you guys got to check that video out as well. Let me see what else I have out already. Okay, also I have out a video on Joe Budden's, and it's just something that he said that I know that, a lot of up and coming content creators might feel some way about. And I watched it like twice, because I believe his show, the way he does it, he puts like different clips out, and I believe the full show or something like that, you have to watch it on like Patreon or one of those places. But he was just speaking on, how he steals from it's easier to steal from small content creators because they be cooking. And I just looked at that like, as human beings, we have that interaction and we have that connection, and certain things that we say, we can also take and carry on into your life. So I looked at it like, that's one thing, but just the energy of that whole conversation, it felt more like, just taking advantage of people because you have a louder voice. And so I spoke on that. You guys got to go check that out. And my approach is never disrespectful, but it's always intellectual. In other words, it's always something that people could look and really identify people for their character and just some of the words they say. So that's just another thing too. And I figured I wanted to bring something different to you guys. So I just want to go over 10 topics, and then we're going to jump into what we do and how we chop it up and bust it up. All right. Okay. So the first thing that I'm hearing, number one, Donald Trump. Okay, let's talk about it. Now I'm hearing, all over the news, I'm hearing third assassination, another somebody try, and then when it all boils down, it's back to these headlines that sparks this like feeling of anxiety for people that, care or are more into that type of situation. Now, from what I'm hearing now, is the guy is saying that no, he was voting for Trump and he's on Trump's side, but it's just the level of mindset and the thinking that somebody feels like they can come with a whole bunch of weapons and people just take it as the norm. And that's one of the things that struck me about that whole situation. Like, he really felt like he didn't do anything wrong, whether he was there for Trump or he was there for whoever or do something. It's just that whole mentality that shows you that some mental health is not the guy that you point out and say is crazy. Sometimes it's the person that's very silent and he has these thoughts in his head and he goes out there without thinking that, he's doing something illegal. You have weapons on you and anything can go down, and the first thing that he's going to jump to are those weapons. So we'll start that off as number one. And the whole energy of this election, I told you guys, when the people are just out of trust and don't know who to go for, that's when the chaos arrives. And that's when, just the whole, the cloudiness of, but I see a lot of people, when it comes down to voting, don't take it and make it a pressure in your life or make it you feel some kind of way, because at the end of the day, it's do it from how you feel and what serves you and your family best, and however you look at it, that's you. So I don't want to go with the back and forth of who are you voting for, who are you voting for. To me, it's just, it's a whole mess. It's a whole mess. And we always got to keep our fingers crossed and pray to God that whoever's elected in that position is going to do the right things for America, because we're not in the best place right now to say, or conduct anything. I mean, America right now is more traumatized than ever. So I just feel like, whoever gets in that position, don't let it weigh on your head. If you are feeling like a little anxiety of just talking about the whole elections and everything, that means it's starting to weigh in on you. And you don't want that stuff to weigh in on you. So get that stuff out of there, and that whole, presidential drama stuff back and forth. Just remember that people want your attention. People want you to tune in and take on the energy that they put out, or so you can have some kind of belief within them. Because when trust is broken, everybody is just going in their own way. And that's what we're seeing in America right now. So don't be confused about it. Just, I say that sometimes it's best not to say anything at all. And sometimes not saying anything at all doesn't mean that you're not behind something or behind the movement. It's just saying that you're just waiting to see when things play out. You're playing the best card for the best situation. So I'm cool with that. Don't let it get to your head. Okay. Let me see what else here too. Okay. Number two, Kamala Harris. Now, Kamala, I feel like her energy is up and everything, but I see a lot of people talking about it, and I see a lot of people, they were a little upset behind the Obama speech. And what I would say to just the whole Democratic Party, or everybody that's on, I guess that side of the fence, not saying that I'm whatever side that I'm on, because trust me when I tell you already know how I feel about this whole nonsense. But I would say I hear people that's not believing in them too, because it might not come like, you know, don't get mad at people for their mistrust in that whole election thing, because there's more evidence in the past of people being misled than there's evidence of things going the right way. So don't ever point down on people, I would say, but at the same time, hear everybody what their intake and try to be more clearer and explain yourself the best way you can. And I felt like, I think in all cultures right now, I think people are just have this miscommunication, because we're in a culture where it's a versus type of thing, and everybody, have their winner. And it seems like when the smoke clears, like, how are people going to feel when only, because only one side could win. So when the smoke clears, I want to see how people are going to take that, and will people still progress and go forward with what they had in mind to do, or if they didn't even have anything in mind to do and they was just trying to start from that point and see where they was going to take their life. But for us, what I want us to be structured enough where when it comes to that point, within 21, 22 days left, we will still, that anxiety be washed right off our shoulders, and we don't have to think about that as much. We just got to do what we have to do. If you're going to vote, go vote. We're going to vote and go back to what we do, and still have that same strong mental, because a lot, this is going to weigh in on people. It weighs in just like how when holidays come around and people that might not have family or miss family loved ones that they don't have here anymore, and they feel that compassion about them, and it puts them in depression feeling. I want you guys to take that same feeling and those same memories and turn it into something that will uplift you and fulfill yourself. Maybe, you can do something to keep yourself occupied, or just dig into things that you love, and it can blind you and just give you that sort of, it's a good relief of not knowing that you have other things to look up to and strive for those people that you loved or missed. And you could inspire so many other people by just doing that and going that route. And before we go into number three, I just want to say too, on a real quick note, I remember, and this is shouts out to my chat, shouts out to all the people that support me. I go through the comments and I'm trying to read them all, and in between I get back to them, go to them, get back to them. And I seen somebody, they had posted a comment, and it was on Diddy, and it was just like, it was because I put up the post, I put up on one of Diddy's alleged victims, actually two alleged victims. And somebody said, they didn't, I guess they didn't feel so secure with the video, so they were like, boo, he's not guilty, this and that. And I said, I responded back, but then I thought about it. I erased the response because people are entitled to their opinion. And that's something I'm learning within myself too. So like I had to let that go because I always tell you guys comment. So if you leave a comment that I possibly might not, feel the same with, doesn't mean that I have to go erase the comment or say anything unless it's something like, with curses or anything in it. So I sat with it and I had to understand for myself that there are people out there that's blurry-eyed and blinded by these situations. I might not have been to experience these things or have some kind of understanding towards it, and that's where they go. They want to see the evidence. So I'm not mad at that, and that's just how life works. But what I could say, as far as her story and the other female story that they spoke, it seems like in these times when people take advantage of people, it's very hard for that person to not give it from their heart, and I felt they was heart driven, and she told her story, and hey, it's not like he doesn't have evidence in behind him, and I'm not saying everything is true, but you have to take everything with a grain of salt and feel it out for yourself, and when the evidence placed in front of you, you have to make your best decision. That's all I can say. Number three. Now, I had told you guys about this on the past live. I wanted to bring back to you with the information. Remember, I told you guys, rapper, I believe his name is Lucas Coly. He died at the age of 27. Rest in peace and healing energy to him and his family. Excuse me, I forgot to even send some healing energy. Rest in peace to Wanda Smith also, before I forget. But this was a young rapper, and he passed away. But they let us know how he passed away, and it was through a self-inflicted wound. And I really wanted to touch on that because for the youth out there, I want you guys to also know, you know those commercials where you see a lot of medicine commercials and things popping up in your face, and they say, this might have suicidal tendencies or things like that. You have to know that these these pills that you're taking, these pills that's not subscribed by, your doctor or prescribed by, somebody in authority of giving you these type of prescriptions, and you're going out there and taking these illegal drugs, you never know if these drugs come with these same type of symptoms as far as like suicidal thoughts and things like that. Because you have to remember, a lot of the rappers that passed away due to pills and things like that, it was a lot of depression filled around it, a lot of escape feeling, wanting to escape, and then they take these pills, and some way, somehow, whether the pill had fentanyl, I don't know how the thing works, they end up in a place that they didn't expect to be. So when it comes down to, I see somebody as a young age at 27 taking his own life when he had such a long life ahead of him, most likely, and I'm not just going to pin it on him, but it's probably some kind of drug induced, or maybe he was going through some type of depression he couldn't get himself out of. And at the age of 27, you're going to have your ups and downs as a young adult growing up. But at that point in your age, you kind of have to know where to steer your problems. Not saying solve all of them, but at least know where to steer or go to somebody where you can at least get some kind of understanding. So it's sad to see that, he ended up taking his life. And that's one of the things that we seeing, it's at a high rate because people fall into this depression hole for some reason, and it's because a lot, and you can't blame a lot of people, because what I noticed a lot, I had a few friends that committed and did the same thing, and what I noticed about all of the friends that I knew that did that, they were very loving people. They weren't people that very misunderstood people, at least from their point of view, but from certain other people, very understandable, and I just feel like, there's certain people that when they go through something, you always got to find an escape. Whether it's an escape, it doesn't always have to be a therapist. It's all about therapy. So what's going to be your therapeutic place to go to, or person, or maybe the thing to do that's going to get your mind off of the things that's pulling you down? That's really what it is. Because a lot of times, coming up, you hear people say therapist, this and that. You see a lot of celebrities say therapist, and automatically in your head you attach that price to it. You're like, wow, even the food is going up. How am I pay for a damn therapist? So if you have that type of mindset, you always got to think that, no, it's not about the therapist as far as the person, it's about the therapy. which is the process. And that's what you have to really concentrate on these times. If you're going to do it the self, healing way, you can find therapy in a lot of things out there. And you can find it in other people too, but I would prefer you guys try to find it in like things you love doing, maybe exercise, maybe just meditation, maybe you can listen to certain types of music that's uplifting, or maybe find a new hobby. Finding a new hobby comes with its own little journey to it, and that's always a good thing. Or just looking into the hobbies that you once loved and you want to get back to, that's always brings like a sense of feeling that, a fulfillment feeling before you even start the journey. So those are little things that you guys can take with you, and it can make your life work and seem and clear things up in your life a little bit. Or you got to get the glasses and take the fog off and really see things for what it is. And okay, this is a big one. This is a big one. So we get to number 4. Number 4, Kanye West. Kanye West, Kanye West. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I stopped listening to Kanye West I don't want to say a long time. Like that sounds so disrespectful because that man's work is still good music. But I stopped listening to Kanye West a while back just because his ideologies, the way he looked at things, the way he treated people, and just the way he just had this self sense of, he's a narcissist. It's one thing about, because it's a lot of things that I champion him for as far as his production and his to the needle of what he wants done. But then there's a lot of things that he said very disrespectful to a lot of people that it makes me feel like the love is not there because the love is being overweighed by his narcissist mentality. And now I hear now that Kanye West, he's being I guess sued, and he's in a position of like what Diddy's in, as far as taking advantage of somebody. And when you have people with that narcissist type of, mentality, they tend to think like the world is about them. So everybody that's around them and that's close to them, they feel like, no, y'all are in my world. And in my world, this is how it goes. And this is how I want you to do this and do that. And people find themselves trapped in these situations where they're trying to stick it out for a certain amount of time because the benefits that come with it, but then the bad stuff outweighs the benefits and then they're ready to run. And just leaving people and dealing with people like this can be a hazard to your health, because a lot of people don't know. His trauma can be passed on so quickly onto people. His thoughts, the way his mind works and the way he looks at people, and he champions a certain type of culture and he looks down on another, and the way these type of things, that trauma and that type of thinking it can be, if when you make that a part of your life, you start to crumble in your life. You have to be stronger to know that what people are saying is just what people are saying. Learn from good people that can get through the storm instead of the people that create the storm. You understand what I'm saying? So keep that in mind when you guys are out there, and realize that, there's some people out there, they want the war to happen. And then there's people out here just trying to prevent it and trying, not to put it in a position where everybody gets hurt, or people that has nothing to do with it gets hurt. And that's the type of mindset you have to be on when a person like Kanye West had so many chances time and time and time again to fix himself. I'm talking about, if there's anybody that had doctors, therapists, therapy, it would be Kanye West. So seeing him in a position like this, no, I don't feel bad. And if she has evidence of this man, and I'm pretty sure it's sad, but I don't want to tie the two, but from how on my video, you can tell the way that female described that party. There was a lot of celebrities in there witnessing this, and those will be the same celebrities that will be charged, because that type of party, anybody in that party that witnessed any minors, anything doing anything like that, that is a crime. Without them going out there and saying anything, and it's not like they could say, oh, we was gonna say something, because things weren't said. So without having those intentions to go out there and save or wanting to get out of that space, that's what put themselves in these type of positions. So when you see a person like Kanye West, I no longer judge him because of how good his beats sound or what's his last song sound like. All of that stuff makes absolutely no sense when it comes down to what you're doing to people out there that's around you. Because those same people, these are the stories. Let me tell you something. In this industry, there are so many puppets. And don't forget, puppets can't operate without the strings. And guess what the strings are? The stories. The strings, the people that had the whole that's in control of those strings hold the stories to these people, so they can't really maneuver the way they want to. And we're seeing this with Diddy. Yeah, we hear a whole lot of things, you know. There's an ounce of truth in everything. Like, yeah, he could have been offended the wrong people, and yeah, but yeah, he offended the wrong people. But on this other side, this is what he was doing to people. So maybe that offense to other people, maybe they knew what he was doing to other people, and that connection. You see that evil connection right there? You see that energy? How the energy clashes, and then good people and bad people can't stay in the same room and can't operate together because you can't be positive and negative at the same time. Think about it. How many times Diddy has came on to, he's the perfect example of how hip hop takes these big situations and try to market it. For example, Diddy, he's talking about love before all of this, God, how he's sorry, this and that. And now we see the evil acts he was doing. That was just a cover up. So when you give the devil a microphone to talk, he's going to keep that thing plugged in until he has the whole room listening. But the minute you unplug the mic and you see the real person for who they are, no matter what they say, it's just like it's muted. No matter what you say, people are not feeling it because they know who you are. And that's when you have a stronger sense of reading people and knowing that the message that they put out doesn't have to be spoken in words for somebody to read it. Got a lot of hip hop artists. They're not really there for the music. They're there for the money, the hustle. So in times like this, when hip hop needs these type of people to stand up and save the culture and put in a certain amount of music with a certain amount of uplifting music or a certain amount of hip hop that's going to take the forefront, they run scatter because they know they'll have to put. If you told artists, oh, I have to invest in myself to, from now on, you guys, instead of putting out the music, invest in yourself. There's no more labels. You know how many artists will run because they don't have, not only they don't have the smarts to do it, but they don't want to put in that type of hard work. Think about it. Think about it. People are more concentrated on how much it's going to make than what I'm making. And that's what hurts a lot of companies. Don't you see all these big companies? They are crumbling. Yeah, we might see one or two celebrities wearing your favorite Louis or your favorite Gucci, but it's not enough to sustain the debt they already have with billions. They already put up so much money in thinking that up to probably 2028 of what they was going to make, that now when they're chopping it back and seeing that there's a fall now because not everybody they're using this instead of using this and using the phone to just press click and buy. Now they're in a scared position because they're realizing that all they was doing is taking the money in and feeding their family. But when it was time for the people and the communities were going through trauma and people were screaming out because they needed help. The same kids that asked for that Gucci sweater for Christmas, this time around their family was not going to those same companies. So you have to take that in heed and realize that if you don't have the product for the moment or the product that's going to help in times like this, then you don't have a product at all. It doesn't matter how long you sustain. Trust me, Nike's been around for the longest and longest of years, and even they're taking their stocks are dropping a little bit because of the fact that people are going into other brands and people are more weighing in on how much does this cost or how much does that cost, because of it's just how life is working. It's how the world rotates. It's how it is. Your energy, don't you know, with good energy, a good mindset, you live a longer life. It's because you would never ever feel that pain because it's so covered up with the love or whatever you have around it that you love. And that's your numbness. That's a good numbing. When somebody can throw all of these negative things at you and you don't even see them coming, because by the time it gets to you, it's filtered into something of understanding of why they're doing something so negative. And these are the realities people are scared to go at, y'all. They are scared to go at. I challenge any MC out there. Any MC out there. Drop your 16s, go on your YouTube, build it back up, build a new foundation with your music, more substance into your music, put projects together, not just little piece singles here and there, because people don't get to know who you are. They just get to know what you like. When you put a whole project together of quality music, they understand who you are as a person and the different avenues you can take. And then people from that point on, they start to figure out what lanes they love of you most. But if you just keep doing single for single for single, excuse me, these splurts of your creations are not going to sit within the hearts of people. As an artist, you have to know that. You have to be more into the body of work than just the single. The single is just like a moment in time. The body of work is the thing that's going to sustain you as a real artist. And I can't say everybody's going to be a legend. Time will tell. But if you keep on that pace, you'll be better off than the person that's just trying to make a viral song. Take that with you. And also, let me see, what are we up to now? Oh, number 5, Rick Ross. Now, Rick Ross, at first, I'm pretty sure you guys thought the same thing too. We're all human. I thought it was Rick Ross's son, but what I'm hearing, it's his baby mother's son. And to me, that's still family. So Healing Energy, Rick Ross' son, I've heard it was something like a drive-by or something like that. But the one thing that you want to have, whether it's your family and you guys might not, you have to have some kind of communication with each other so that it won't get like, a miscommunication could throw everything on social media. Have some communication so when these things happen, they can be resolved. And when I say resolved, I just mean like you can be there for a person in time of need. That's all. So Healing Energy, I really haven't not anything else to say more on that. It's a lot of violence out here, and people have to understand that whether your parents could be superstars, and how they train you as the youth, how they train their kids, and is how their kids are going to go out there and represent them, because your parents and your kids together, the kids are going to mirror the parents. It's just like I heard something the other day, like Kanye West is Kim Kardashian's daughter, and she was saying something so disrespectful, and I was just like, you know what, that we was talking, and we were saying, that comes from the house, because a kid is a reflection of how his parents or whatever talk. So when you see that, it's most likely okay. That's how they, it's like just like you have to raise your kids and not have them look down on people or look at people like, oh, they're peasants, because it's a big world. And when your kids go out there and that you don't have the strings on them anymore, whatever you taught them, they're out there on their own trying to figure it out. And they get themselves into these situations where they can't, because they see life as one way, and now they're confused, and there's nobody to run back to. There's nobody to run back to at that point. And as an adult, you have to handle these situations the best way you know how. And that's what leaves a lot of the youth lost, because when they get put in these situations, it takes so much out of them that it's almost like taking their soul away. So be careful, what you put out there. Sometimes you're hurting the fans, and there's a lot of fans that go by the negativity music, and it might hurt them, but it might also hurt you too as well. It's not just about remember, the energy you put out, it comes back to you. So you might be talking about some drugs or some how you love guns, and all of a sudden you get robbed, or you get somebody put something in your drink. You never know. Don't open your door to the negativity and to all of these people that just say whatever just to have you thinking crazy in your head. Don't fall into all of that stuff. Number 6. Can I get a round of applause for Aubrey O'Day? She stood up. She didn't even care what people thought about Diddy. From the beginning, she was the one that was like, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I'm not going to go for, just because y'all think Diddy is this, Diddy is that. I'm going to speak my story, and I keep telling my story until one day it gives people the strength to tell their story. And together, as we all go against him, that will break him down. So Aubrey, she's been telling us about Diddy's behavior, how he treated people. I seen another thing. Shouts out to Freddie for making it a band. Freddie P was talking about, just how they the treatment that they got, and how how he used to how he talked to them, and the way he tried to get things across. It's kind of like he wants people to go through the same horror that he went through, and when they get to that point, he feels like he has them in this kind of control-ish type of mindset, where it's like, so when I look back at the whole making of the band and working for the Philly cheesesteak and all this, yeah, it might have looked like it was jokes at the time, but he was trying to humiliate them and trying to belittle them so that they would have to look up to him to go into the next step, because if they left at that point, what did they have to stand on but some people that was just working for cheesecake that couldn't make it? So I understand, this, you got to understand, people like that, narcissists, find their ways to control people. It's not going to just, he's not going to just walk up to you and say, I want to control you. No, he's going to do little things for you, and things that you can, if he sees that you're the type of person that you're willing to just give your whole life away just because somebody helped you out and you have no value in yourself, then most likely you're probably going to fall in these positions of being controlled. Just because somebody helps you out, the next thing they say or do, you might not agree with. It doesn't mean that they didn't help you out, but you might not agree with it. It doesn't mean you have to go with it. You have to have your own mind and stand on your own too, no matter what people tell you. People will tell you a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. It's up to you to believe it. You know, a lot of people are coming from different circumstances, different situations, so they can only tell it from as far as their lens can see. But when you see, like, there's a lot of people, we've been a lot of places and met a lot of people and been in different situations where we can pattern it enough and say, you know what, that's not it. That ain't it. You know, that ain't it. You know, that's not it. You think that's it because the money looks like it's good, but the person is not going to live out that type of legacy with that type of lifestyle, you know? So you have to always use this, you know? Always use that. This, you're going to need that to get through this whole time that we're going through. We're going to all need it. Number 7, T.I. T.I., my boy T.I. I like T.I., man. T.I. is one of the dopest rappers coming out the South that ever touched the mic in hip hop in general. Like how the young folks say, period. And I ain't mad at him. He said, you know, and I don't think that he's saying that he'll never rap again. I think what he was saying when he, you know, as far as him, you know, like people like paying him to do shows, this and that, you know, he just wouldn't have settled for y'all. And I don't think, he's not just a guy just about money. So I'm not putting that on Tip. Tip is not just a guy about money. No, 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 no. He's always, if you know T.I., he's always standing on business and he's always repping for the culture and hip hop itself. He's never been a guy, you know, lack of bars, lack of education. He's always been bringing it to the forefront. If you listen to T.I.'s albums, even the ones from way back, when you thought that there wasn't jewels being dropped in there, go back and listen to them. And you'll see that what a lot of things that he was speaking on and his strength to make it to this point where he's at, to raise a family that he has, it came from a lot of things that he's been through. So when you tell your story and it comes out clear to the people, that's what makes you the legend you are. So shouts out to T.I., and I ain't mad at you. He has a great settlement. You know, I feel like T.I. will still drop music, but on his terms and the way he wants to do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. He put out a lot of great music that you can go back to. Once you leave, I would say leave a trail of good music, and you won't have to, you will know when to, you'll look at your whole, everything you drop like a painting, and you say, you know what, that little piece right there, I can touch it up, and that'll be the new album you drop, you know, with your how you're feeling today. But it doesn't mean that you have to be calling people, can I get a show here, can I get a show there? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. At that age, you have to be doing all of that like you're trying to be a rapper again. It's ridiculous. You should already have that in place with the people, with the music you already dropped. So that people to people, connection can keep you paid for the rest of your life, knowing that your word that you put out there was true to the people. Hold on. Let me see what else. What are we up to? Oh, number 8, Britney Spears. Britney. Well, in Britney's situation, they're saying she effed up 60 million. And the way it's looking like, it's not looking like she was the only one to mess that money up. It probably looks like she probably had people behind the scenes with more hands than she would have thought in her bank account. Who knows? When you're dealing with a person of that stature with a lot of money, you got to realize that the people around you mean more than anything at any time. This is the time where, because being that a lot of people, you know, they worship money and you need money to survive, you become bait to people with bad intentions. So 60 million is not something you can say that people are going to feel so, but if I put myself in your shoes, if somebody took my money, or if it's somebody put my money in the wrong or stole from me, then yes, you know, you have to fight that, but be more clear on what you think happened, and it just goes to show, man. People will drug a person up just to take their money. If you're not around people that love you, man, and you're worth something, we're all worth something. But you know, you guys know what I mean. Like social media, you're probably popular, or you have something that can make somebody envy you. Then you have to be very careful, because when you're going up, some of them people, they will do anything to see you down. And you have to be mindful. Like if you're up $60 million, you can't be out. You have to be more responsible about the people that's in control or people that's around your money. And because you don't want to make all that money off of your music, and then you're ending years. We're getting older and older. You're ending years. You're stressed out in court all the time and fighting these people for your money. By the time you finish all that, you might as well be dead. All of that stress and all that stuff going back and forth. You shouldn't, but man, what can I tell you? I guess we'll hear more about that in the days to come, what's going on with Britney Spears. But, from what I've seen Britney go, I don't know, I can see for myself, it looked like she was going through it on Instagram. Always, just maybe we never know somebody's story until they tell it. So maybe the things that she was going through, that's the way she filtered it out, just being herself and just, cutting off the ties of all these people. Sometimes that's worth more than any type of money. The pain people cause you, and you just cutting them off and getting them out of your life. There's no amount of money you can put a price on that. That's a peace of mind. So, healing energy, and it's sad that people, they're out there for people's money, but come on, man. People out here, they're wicked. They're wicked. Number 9, so SZA. SZA gives us a little hint that Kendrick Lamar album's coming soon. Well, I heard, shouts out. What's up, y'all? So they're saying Kendrick has an album set to be released coming soon, and I'm ready for that. I'd rather hear Kendrick in a whole body of music, so I can go in there. It's just kind of like going shopping. I don't want to just go in there and there's one hat everybody's waiting online for, and we all getting the same thing. I want to be able to hear the body of work and say, oh no, that one I can relate to, that one I love that song, oh that's dope. So I'm waiting to hear Kendrick Lamar's new body of work and whatnot. Well, this is a good month. This is one of the best months, A lot of people I love, their birthdays are this month. So Kendrick Lamar dropping an album this month. Please, Kenny, drop it. Kung Fu Kenny, drop it for us. And I know it's gonna be a good body of music, because he always drops good music. Shouts out to all y'all. And number 10, Ashton Kutcher. Ain't he running? Ashton has been running ever since they got Diddy. If you look, I would say like this. I don't know because you never know what celebrities have been in contact behind the scenes from the feds because of this whole Diddy situation. But what I could tell you is, if you are a part of it, or if you know something about it, you might as well tell your story, because these people have the videotapes. And how you look in the public, I know it's gonna sound bad, but it's gonna mean a lot in these days to come, in these years to come, because your person is, if you're hiding something, people are gonna say you're more on the side of that guy than the side of the victim. So be clear in what you're doing, man, and just realize that social media can see you. Even if you move to wherever, social media is pretty much everywhere. So just running from, or I'm not, it could, that just allegedly, but they're saying he's moving around pretty quick and swiftly. So, the whole Diddy situation, they got a lot of people ducking this and that. But one person I do want to give a shout out to is Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj has been here and there trying to give people little hints in there. I've seen another video go up, and it was just like, when she was talking to Soulja Boy, she was trying to give a hint. She didn't say anybody's names to be disrespectful, but she was just like, this industry is a little, So there's a lot of things that's been going on behind the scenes, and I'm pretty sure that this week, not everybody probably is going to be able to pay the bill. We're going to hear the list. We're going to hear all of that stuff. And for the people that's on that list, to know that if the party see the video that I showed you guys with that person that's allegedly a victim of this Diddy situation party, if they was part of that party, everybody in that party is getting locked up. Everybody. Because everybody would have witnessed that there were minors in there. So if that's the party that they have on tape, oh, people are in trouble, y'all. People are in trouble. There's going to be a lot of people in trouble. I'm talking about there's going to be a lot of people doing maybe like 10 years here, 5 years here. Diddy probably get the bulk of it. But all of that equals up into a pot of people that was part of that whole. They're going to put that with the sex trafficking and they're going to bunch it all in one. I'm telling you. That's just how it's going to go, because what you guys don't realize, yes, they do have enough information to keep it solid, but if you cut it off at this point, there's a lot of people that get away with this, then this type of behavior could continue on in the industry. So if they cut off where everybody's out of this picture of who was participating in it, there's most likely a chance that this type of behavior won't be able to go down again, especially with the, there's so many cameras around now, so many people just vlogging and outside and aware. There's a lot, just because you see a lot of people on drugs, they might be numbed up and they're not seeming aware, but there's a lot of people in the world that's aware and just eyes open to the things that they might not have once, took a look to, And that's the times we're living in, and people want to know, people want answers. And that's the reason why the election energy is going back and forth like this, because people want to know the truth. They don't want to put themselves and their votes into people that's just going to deceive them, because then that causes more chaos. When you deceive people, that's a part of a trauma too. It's always being told that something is going to happen, and then this happens. It's almost like that Diddy energy. So you don't want to have that in the elections, because Diddy is almost the same thing, where he told people that something was going to happen. He promised them this, and this happened. And then when this happened, he made an excuse for it. And, it's just like all of that is deception. And the more of that you have in the forefront, the more people lose trust in you. So I'm never mad at anybody at the choices they make. Even a lot of these companies, at first, you see me, I put up a lot of smash and grabs. But when I really started looking into it, I'm like, these same companies don't realize that those kids breaking into those companies, their parents work for those companies, and those companies don't care anything about them. Not one thing about them. Somebody could pass away and they want you to be at the job next 2 days. If you say, can I get a few weeks off, they want to ask you how many weeks. They don't care about you. They care more about the companies. And once you figure that out, you start to realize you have to be the one to care about you. Nobody else is going to care about you the way you care about you. You can hear it over and over, but nobody sticks to it. Nobody really figures it out. People like to just go off of just whatever comes to them. Whatever. You can't live like that, because if you live like that, you then know somebody's going to hit you hard where you're not expecting, or you can't hold it down. You got to be prepared, man. Don't let people fool you, man. Don't let these guys fool you, man. And what I always tell you guys, if you find the things you love, I'm telling you, man, you wouldn't even know you have to catch up with what's going on, because you already got things going on. When you're behind the scenes, it's just as busy as these guys' mouths on social media. You don't have anything to worry about. They have to come to you to find another escape when they bump their head and they realize that what they're doing is not beneficial to their families and beneficial for them moving forward. This is what happens. This is not like something sometimes I don't even want to stick around to see the proof. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just off into my own, I knew that was going to happen. I'm sorry that you didn't listen to that, but I'm so off here. I don't want to see a demise. These things come to people that they bring it to themselves, Sometimes you just don't want to see the destruction. You just want to keep going on and go with the people that's adding the brick to whatever you have to build. You don't want to sit around in that stuff. That stuff will pull you down too. So that's why I wanted to bring, these 10 topics, but I also want to give you guys a lot. I want to really chop it up with you guys, because the energy that we're seeing in hip hop, that we're seeing in entertainment today, it's almost like you have to be prepared for what's next to come. Not even they know. If you can see a billionaire lose damn near all his money, like, when they denied him of the 50 million for the bail bond, in my head, people are like, why they denied him 50 million? Look, listen, it's like you're fighting with your own money. That's their money now. People don't understand that. The money that he think he has is their money already. That's their money. Why would they take their money to bail him out? Like, why? You're not understanding. When these people have control over the things you do, the money you've made, you're not going to be able to spend that in so many years. The money will change color by the time he comes out. It's not looking good at all, you guys. No matter how people package it or try to tell people about it, it's not looking good. The types of crimes that these people are putting themselves into are sexual crimes, beating and beating down on females and doing it to men as well. Keep an open eye to the people that you think are legends and the people, because look, let me tell you, just because when those names drop, we're not lightening up on those other celebrities too. I'm just hoping that they're not the people that, that I really put time into their music like that again, because that's just upsetting. But if it is, it's not like it. Come on, I don't know these people. I can only go for what they show us and who they are to be. It's only up to social media now, where we just see that the energy doesn't match up with the person. Yeah, that happens a lot in hip hop. Somebody might have the most inspirational quotes, but then they have the most jokes in person. The energy doesn't match. So that type of person is artificial. That type of person is just doing it for the hustle, doing it for the time, doing it for you people to look at them a certain way. But when you meet, you don't want to stay with these people or meet these people, because at the end of the day, these people only want to take from you. They don't want to give you anything. People are they're more ready to cover up themselves than unveil the truth. So I just show you they live their whole life like Halloween. That's the day for them to go out there and they start celebrating like the wolves and the demons. Let them go. Let them go. We knew in our time what it meant to us and the fun we had and the great times we had, just with our friends. But in these times, it seemed like that type of energy fit them people anyway. So go ahead, put on your mask. Put on your mask. Put on your Joker mask like Diddy and laugh and everything. But for the victims, don't wear no mask. For the victims out there, y'all should put love at the end of your name, because y'all the true ones. Love at the end of all of your name, because y'all survive love. You should put survival, or love. And only you will know that. That'll be your strength. Those people it's over. It's over. No matter what they try to, they try to kick it in whatever way it's over. Once a person sees the real person who you are, there's nothing you can really do about that. They know who you are. We see the hate in you. Y'all know, like I tell you guys, we see the hate in them. We see why they're there and the reason why that they're not going to be there for long. Just because you see a guy with a whole bunch of millions of dollars, don't mean he don't have millions of problems, or if that stress ain't weighing on him. Stress don't have money attached to it. It's people that put those two together, but in reality, stress is stress. Money is money. I've seen a lot of black people that make millions of dollars and still stressed out. I'm like, yo, didn't you just say you came from struggle? You know what's wrong? You're not managing your life right. You try to go out here and be with a whole bunch of females that probably don't even like your ugly ass. Somebody that really in love with you, that really see the beauty in you, you walk right past them because you onto this, what are they dating? Then you see a whole bunch of celebrities dating each other and they start dating his girl, he dating his girl. This is this demonic energy, man. Wanting what another man has. That's disgusting. Not only is this disgusting, it's childish. So the level of maturity, yeah, it's not gonna go anywhere, no matter what. No matter how high almighty you think you are, people will always look at you for the idiot that you really are. And that's when your energy doesn't match up with your level of intelligence, or your energy doesn't match up with the person that you claim to be when you go out there and treat people. How you treat people says a lot for who you are. Not the words you say or how smart you are. It's how you treat people. But a lot of people, they don't know that. They just feel like, I'm gonna be the tough guy. I told you, the tough stuff, there's a place for that stuff. You can only be tough to a certain point. When you get into tough and then you get into crime, your days are numbered. Your days are numbered. There's no way in hell in these times, even if you any type of entertainment, even if you're a content creator, you go to the police with that, and it might hit the little part in the news, because that is the highlight of today. Anything like that they're chasing after. There's money behind that. So pay attention to what's going on and stop listening to these people just telling you anything for a view. They're not going to be able to keep uplifting people, because the hate inside of them it's starting to unveil. They're not gonna be. How could you have hate inside of yourself and then you expect that you're gonna uplift people? Don't you see the wrong in that? Don't you see that people are there pretending? These are the things you gotta open your eyes to, y'all. See, when these people are pretending and doing all this funny stuff online, you're like, wait, hold on. The other day you was acting like you felt, sorry for that victim that been sexually abused, and today you talking down on that female like she ain't the queen that she is. What kind of demon are you? It's like a demon in disguise. Remember those. Remember those words. A demon in disguise. Break it down. A demon that's disguised as a god. You see the difference? It's a big difference. People can put anything and they can label themselves any little thing. But if your actions don't show it, then that energy you receive is not going to be what you expect. People will challenge you, that challenge energy, challenge what you're saying, always in question of what you're doing, because you don't have enough trust out there with the people for them to connect with you. You know how many people are stuck like that right now in entertainment? They're so used to the business doing everything for them that when it comes time to do something for themselves, that they can't even do it. It's like they're paralyzed to it. They don't know how to talk to their own fans. They don't know how to connect with people because they have this sense of what they look at me as. Who cares what people look at you as? Let people know who's the real you. That's what it's all about, being truthful. I don't see, it's only going to be hard for people to be truthful when they've been lying for all these years. Think about it. You got to remember a whole bunch of stuff, and they're like, how you do it? It's because I'm being truthful. I'm speaking from my heart. I'm always going to be here to tell you how I feel, my opinion on it. And that's why it always comes out like the way it is. Don't question the person that is seeing things from a different lens. Question what he's seeing through that lens. Open your mind up to new things instead of closing your mind to the nonsense. There's enough of nonsense out there. People are still trying with it, trying to get their bop on, but they bop ain't the right BPM. It's off. Everything's off. You have to balance your life, balance yourself, and when you speak to people, come with respect, so people can treat you back with that same respect. It goes a long way. When people tell you these things, don't think they're just making it up. These are from people that have been through these experiences. 10 topics of the day. Love y'all.